I was thinking about having, as this podcast evolves, we like the name, like the roughest diamond of all, the refined diamond, the golden diamond. Maybe we could do something like that.
Okay, I like it.
Hi guys, if you're new here, this is the Rough Diamond podcast. We are evolving and changing. I like the evolution of things. It makes things more fun and adventurous. And then it gives you guys a timeline from like when we started this ridiculum and like seeing the ridiculum come together. Like you might not have seen it all come apart, but it has been. And that is why this podcast hasn't been reposted for a while. And we were growing and getting our reps in for other stuff and all of this stuff. So now we are here. It is a beautiful evening. So Toria,
Yo.
what did you say that you wanted to talk about today?
Oh man, time.
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 Time. I
I
think that
started off with like, well, you know me. I went deep. I was like, can we talk about how time's not linear and the concept of time? But we've also kind of discussed that we wanted to talk about other aspects of time because there's all different aspects of time, right?
well, okay. So I had said whenever we were talking about time not being linear, that I also wanted to like throw time management in there as like an afterthought. And then as I was like doing a little bit of research on time and the physics of time and the way that time is seen in the quantum realm, I found that time management does not matter. And that that it is inconsequential, in fact, to the reality of time, because the reality of time is subjective based on the observer in a way, which is kind of like most physics. It is exactly like most physics. Um, but it's wild because it's a collective observation. It's not just a singular observer. So if I find that it's quite fascinating because it's a singular observation from a collective of people and then it's agreed upon, right?
Yep.
But then like as you dig into the science of time, there's possibility for you to kind of not turn back time, but you can restore time to a a place. There is a way to restore time and in essence slow down the reaction that is time. And so we can get more into that as we dig. So, what I would like to address first are the different types of time. There's three types of time. Have you looked at this at all?
No.
Okay, awesome. Well, you know me, I love to teach people new stuff. So, here we go.
Yeah.
We're going to learn something new today. So, Newtonian time is the time that we have on our clock right now.
Okay.
Is the like linear time, it's absolute. And when I say it's absolute, like it's only absolute because it's agreed upon by collective, right?
Yeah.
It's the same everywhere. It's like supposedly the time that's like the baseline time, right? It forms uniformly, it's independent of space or matter. Like what it's going by, it's like a reaction to what's happening.
And this is called Utonium.
Newtonian time, like so Newton, like Isaac
Newton. Okay, got it. Got it.
Newtonian time. So it's mathematically convenient, so it's kind of what we've agreed upon as time because it works, right?
Right.
But there's never ever been a universal detected time anywhere. So you know how we have like the atomic clock or whatever, like largely that's just agreed upon time still.
Gotcha.
Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting. So then, like, that makes you wonder, like, How do they know how old the Earth is and the universe is? Because, yeah, how do they know that?
Well, um, we will answer that question as we go. I'm sure we will find the answer.
Yeah. You don't have it right now. I want it now. No, I'm teasing. Go on. What
Yeah,
other types of time is there?
there's three. It's easy. I mean, it's simple, but not necessarily easy. So, relativistic time. This is local time. It's observer dependent. This links time with space time. Time passes at different rates based on, this is from Einstein, based on time dilation or velocity, time dilation, which I don't understand this. Okay. I was like researching and reading. And then and gravity, which is gravitational redshift, which I would love to dig further into. I don't know what that is. Time dilation, like what? This is much more like weeds than I had time to research for this podcast, but we will definitely revisit this because it's super fascinating. And you know, my ass will be digging into this information just because I don't watch TV and I am crazy, maybe. But at the end of the day, what it boils down to, from what I gleaned and my understanding, is that this is the theory of time, that there is no specific time, that there's many local times based on like time to tied to the specific observers of clocks of like that retextual area, right? So it depends on where you are, and it depends on the collective that is observing the time. So once again, it brings back that observation, and that's what links it to space, which is interesting. Wrapping my mind around that is like,
Yeah.
take a breath, because it's like, whoa, that's so cool, right? And it kind of like unlocks new thought, which is pretty magical, like having a new understanding of the way that time has been perceived in science and broken down. It like creates as like an opening for a new idea of time, which at the end of the day just means that humans can manipulate time. We have to figure it out. So the third type of time is like the most made sense and agreed upon by science in quantum mechanics and just science in general, like when it comes to longevity, everything else. And that's thermal dynamic time or thermal time. And that's emergent time that comes from entropy. So what entropy is disorder. We age because our cells start to break down, but there's
Right.
a reason for that breakdown. There's like a chemical reaction and blah blah blah. Usually it's because people are fat and lazy and they sit on their ass and they don't do anything and they eat a bunch of processed food. That's going to make all of your cells break down like 10 times faster than if you're getting up, going to the gym, eating healthy, you know what I mean? Eating healthy whole foods that are full of vitamins. That's going to make entropy happen a lot less fast. So that is why people that work out and eat healthy, if they're truly eating healthy, some people that like look like they work out really don't eat healthy. They just work out. Uh,
Yeah.
they like clog their arteries and then heart attack city. So that's not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about people healthy, often look way younger than their actual biological age, and then they test younger than their actual biological age.
Yeah.
It's a lack of entropy. So that is kind of agreed upon in quantum physics, from what I understand as well. The reason why this is more agreed upon is because this explains why there's an arrow of time. Like with Newtonian time, time just goes forward, and time, what did I write? It was really interesting. We think that things change because of time, when really time exists because things change.
Yeah. That makes sense.
And then what I had wrote as a question was, what happens if you find like a way to restore what has changed
Hmm.
that make time move backwards? Because the time marching on, it's like a permanence, right? But like how there has to be there's a way to do almost everything, right? Like people can just create ways to do things out of the clear blue sky. They,
Hmm.
look at radio waves, look at the internet. You know what I mean? Like this is like you think that this stuff is like really connected, but what if it's just ideas that people manifested? That's what it seems like it is to me. What does it seem like it is to you?
I mean, yeah, I think definitely I can see it as that ideas that people have manifested, and it's like a collective understanding that is what has been, right? But I think it's very interesting that you were talking about how, like, you would go back in time. So if you, it's, it's like it folds back in on itself. And so if it's not necessarily like you go back in time and you start over and you like are this version of yourself reliving that experience, it's that it goes back and it fixes or changes, not necessarily fix, but it alters because you can do it in negative and positive ways, I believe. You know what I'm saying? And we're doing it unconsciously. And so the idea and the trick is to figure out how to do it consciously. But when it goes back and it changes it, it's like it's a download, an instant download of like how it shifted, but you're still here, right? So it's like living in both of those, the Newtonian time where it's moving forward constantly. So you don't ever truly go back, but it does change it. And then there's an instant like you see the immediate shift in things and people and circumstances. And sometimes people call that a miracle, right? Because if it's drastic enough, it can probably feel that way. But that is just that shift of time and our concept of it and making an adjustment in something that had previously happened or making an adjustment now and how that goes back and shifts something in the past. I don't know. Do you
Well,
understand what I'm saying? Is it making sense or am I talking mud?
I'm subjective in that way because,
Right.
like, I was able to go back in time and heal my shame by healing my shame in real time to where it doesn't affect me anymore because the consciousness shift exists.
Yeah.
So I was able to change the past because the consciousness shift existed. I was thinking about that too, because like I've been studying through the Bible and then doing like the alchemical esoterics, like extra super deep dives through each chapter. It's super, super fascinating. I used to think the God of Israel was like different, like crazy, because people make it seem like the God of Israel is. But whenever you study it, it's not like that. Like it's not like you're missing the point. It's not meant to be taken for face value. It's meant to be dug into and to find the meat and the meaning and what you're holding on to and what it represents and what parts of you that it like represents you facing. People say that God changed and blah blah blah. And God didn't change.
Yeah.
That's our consciousness changed.
Yeah.
We changed. Our awareness of God changed. There was never a time that the Holy Spirit didn't exist, but Jesus says, I have to go away so that it can come, right? Well, it was already around. Jesus blessed the 5,000 or whatever, like fed the 5,000 by invoking the Holy Spirit. So if he did that already, it was already there. The people were just not aware of it. And in order for them to be able to stomach the awareness of that kind of power and understand that they have it within them, he had to die to show them that. And like that little revelation, like idea coming to me, it was like, oh, and then that in itself changes the timeline of like what everybody had said to me before whenever I was a kid growing up, thinking the other thing was true.
Mm-hmm.
God had changed, or that it was different, or that the Old Testament was scary, or that God was like vengeful and mean. And really, those people were super annoying. God was so cool. God was so cool. And then they just kept doing dumb stuff. It wasn't that he wasn't a cool God, it was that they were crazy. And it's like we don't take responsibility for our stuff enough either. You know what I mean? Like, well, what if it was me? What if I wandered in an 11-mile space for 40 years because I was screwing up?
Mm,
Could that be possibly the case? Oh, no, 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 that's not the case. It was Moses's fault. Okay. What? You guys just couldn't figure out your consciousness level, right? They were like they were in conflict and
yeah.
they had to release that conflict. Time and consciousness is very much connected. That's what I was trying to illustrate. And
Yeah.
two of the things are not like separate, and it's your awareness of time. What if we can really break out of the matrix? What if there's like a legit way to do that, to break the time? And we're just sat here to figure that out. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. See,
Yeah.
nighttime vibes are always nice vibes. Just saying. Doing a podcast at night can create some really magical thoughts. So we talked about time. What else do you have to say about time? What else did you want to say about that, the structure of time?
Well, I saw a really cool illustration because like what we've been talking about is really deep, right? And so like for somebody who is just now starting to like understand and realize that time is a construct of man and because of all of those reasons that we discussed, and so they're trying to start to see it, right? It's kind of hard because you've been taught your entire life that it is linear, right? It's a straight line. This is when it started and this is the points on the map of what things have happened, right, along the line. I saw this really cool illustration about how you don't need to think of it as a straight line. It's more like a spiral, right? So like if you think of like how a tree grows, right? It grows from the center out, right? And so that's how time is for us as well. So you're going around in a circle, and then if you have trauma or something that inhibits you from going straight, or not straight, but in that same trajectory, and it breaks that, you adjust and you grow around it, right? Well, it comes back around, you're still going to have to grow around it, which is why certain things feel cyclical, right? Like you feel like you're coming back to it. You feel like you're revisiting that thing that you thought that you put to bed, but you're growing around it. And each time it's less distance that you have to grow out around it, but you still have to revisit it. And it's just kind of that's how we grow out. And so you're going to see that in different aspects of your life. And I thought that was just a really cool illustration because it's a nice, easy shift from thinking of something so linear and straight and almost one dimensional or two dimensional, right? Into something that is beyond that because we are beyond that. And it's understanding that time is not one dimensional or two dimensional. It is beyond that. And
Well,
when we start to realize that, we can access different parts of it.
yeah, it's like we have extra dimensional senses
Yeah.
and that people don't recognize. I feel like it's important to shine a light on those extra dimensional senses, like seeing time in that, being able to observe time in that function, just in like this type of time and this type of time and this type of time. It is an exhibition of those senses
Yeah.
because you're stepping outside of time to understand that the time that is on your clock right now is bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm never late, people, okay? I'm teasing. I'm just teasing.
It's based on the collective consciousness, what everybody's agreeing on. So,
Right.
but you don't have to exist in that space all the time. I think that's
Yeah.
the point. Different things happen in your life to where like the routines that you had before like fall off. They didn't really make sense. And that's that cyclical thing. Like as you're getting to the center, I think maybe you start wide and you go to the center.
Hey, look at that. That's interesting.
But that's that extra sensory conceptualization, breaking it up into different realms of consciousness and understanding in real time. This is how my brain works.
Well, if it's infinite and we are infinite, then it would connect beginning to end,
Yeah.
but you don't see it. Have you ever seen like a visual representation of infinity in, I guess, like a 3 or 4D, like I don't know. I saw it was drawn, right? And it was this incredibly crazy shape and you couldn't figure out how it connected together, but it did because you couldn't find where it didn't connect together because it was infinite. But it was so wild. It was really cool. I don't know. Yeah, if you have a computer and you want to Google it, you can do that.
There was another visual that I gave to somebody that I was talking to. The coffee shop we were supposed to go to didn't have coffee. Right then, they closed to like make and do maintenance on their espresso machines. It was
Well,
like
that's lame.
3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh, okay.
So we walked down the street. I live in this cool little town that has like it's 5 minute drive from my house. They have like cute little shops. It's like a cartoon town. So we were able to walk to another place in town, and it's a tea place, and it's every different
Um,
kind of tea that you could think of. And they have all
cool.
different kinds of syrups. They have alcohol if you want to have like a boozy tea. And you get a little teapot. It's called In Tea in Littleton, Colorado. If anybody wants to come to that place, I love the lady that owns it, so I don't mind plugging them at all. Um, but they give you a little teapot and a cool little cup, and it's not like a mug, but it's like a little cool little cup that you can put your hands on. And it's just a cool place, and the vibe is cool. They have games, they have all kinds of different stuff that you could do. Um,
Cool.
we were walking, and I was telling her about the visual of the wheel being on the center spoke of the wheel. I've heard this a couple times from different sources. One was John C. Maxwell, and one was Rick Rubin. And being at the center spoke of the wheel is like everything in life going on around you, all of the things like crazy whirlwind, and you just being able to be still and being able to take it as it comes. You start out on the outside of the wheel. And when you're on the outside of the wheel, it's like, okay, this is all right. It's steady. But then whenever you're getting onto the spokes, it's hard. And like that's where your traumas are. But you're trying to get to the center so that you can get to that stillness. And the traumas that you go through and the adversity that you go through and the things that come your way are really what help you get closer to the center of the wheel,
Right.
that stillness, but you have to understand it as such. You have to be able to transmute it. You have to use it for your next step instead of your next hindrance. And that's the part that people miss. Like they take the tragedy that happens in their life and then they internalize it and identify as it forever and have depression. It becomes their identity.
Yeah.
And so if people can understand, like, really your level of consciousness is like those senses that work inside of you and outside of you matter, and you can use them to, I don't know, understand yourself better. Does that make sense? Do I sound crazy?
Yeah. No, you don't sound crazy. No, it does make sense. Yeah.
Oh,
It's
okay.
clear. I feel like it's clear.
When you're at this, whenever you take it like that and you learn how to transmute all of those things into this, like the lead into gold, then you can, like, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to pay it forward. You're not just supposed to take that blessing and hold it for yourself. It's like whenever God gave the Israelites manna in the wilderness and they were trying to store it up and then it all spoiled and went bad. It's because they're eating they're like trying to store up a blessing, and instead of just being appreciative, like worrying about what's coming next, instead of existing in the right now with gratitude, you
Yeah.
know, I think if we all work a little bit harder to do that, like it's not easy, right? It's so easy to lose sight of the fun things in life, happiness, joy,
Yeah.
especially if you don't have any around you, right? And you have to like, I remember whenever I was in a dark place and I would have to find like beacons of light over here, way over there, because I was surrounded by darkness.
Mm-hmm.
What is that beacon of light? Several people like served as that. Like TC McCartney, my cousin he was a coach in the NFL. Um,
Mm-hmm.
he served as one of those beacons of light because he was doing well. I was not doing well. I was in darkness. He was in the light. And it was like, well, if he could be in the light, so can I. We came from the exact same place. We know the exact same people. The same people raised us. The same people spoke life into us, right?
Yeah.
But it's so hard to do that. I was given grace to do that. Great. God was like, here, look over there. This is
Yeah.
don't look over here. Don't look. Wait, there's
Mhm.
a little bit of light right here. Look at this light. Okay, but look over there. There's a lot of light over there. And just help me to like pull myself out of that. But like not everybody has that. So it's really hard to find that. And so it's really easy to be like, man, just screw it. It's just gonna be like this forever, and I'm always gonna be sad, you know?
Well, I mean, I feel like it's about flow too, right? So, like when the Israelites were hoarding the manna, they disrupted the flow. And that's what that blessing is. And that's what gratitude is. And that's what where your blessings come from is allowing the flow to work through you, right? So if you have a blessing,
You can trust God so you can relax. It's not something that you're supposed to be like, oh, here's my
right?
oh.
Exactly. You strangle it and you choke the life out of it. You gotta just let it flow. We talked about flow a lot. Remember when we checked each other and we would be like, is this a thought and a feeling that comes from flow energy or not? Stagnant energy.
Scarcity.
Exactly. Scarcity.
I feel like I still struggle with having thoughts rooted in scarcity. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's not as bad now because of actively like chipping away at that. And one key thing that can chip away at scarcity mindset, and this is something that I'm learning, and this is such a weirdly tough lesson, is generosity. I love to be generous. I love to give. I love to give my insight. I love to give love. But at the same time, I realized like I was holding myself back because I have so much more to give and so much. And I was like so confused about, so since I have more to give, am I supposed to tithe more?
Yeah.
Am I supposed to like do more at church? Am I supposed to like, what am I supposed to do? Well, so I started with tithing more because I didn't know what to do, right? And then, of course, I'm praying through it. The pastor at the church that I go to is my good friend, and we um, planted the church together. Like we made, like we have the bones. I have the bones to the church in my closet, the planning of the
Yeah.
um, and he's doing a series on generosity, the heart of generosity, what it is, what it does. And it opens you up to flow because you're trusting and you're loving. And it's this like organic thing, but it's not.
Yeah.
I have various generational curses that were passed down to me from all kinds of stuff. that happened, and everybody does, right? And part of that generational curse was really having like a toxic focal point on materialism.
Mm.
And so overcoming that and not being worried like, oh, I have to keep this. You know what I mean? Like, no, I'm just going to give everything away. And Pastor David was talking about Stephen King. And he said that Stephen King had a near-death experience, and one of his takeaways was to make his life a gift for others. Well, why not do that?
Yeah.
Why not do that? Right? So, like, the word of the week was generosity. I like every single Black Friday deal that I had for my coaching, I hooked it up even more. Like I just made it awesome and like am just like working on making it awesome and more awesome and seeing what else I can like what other value I can give because
Yeah.
I want to see my clients be healthy. Like I do not care if they have muscles, can do pull-ups. I do care, right? Like it's important. I would love to see all of my female clients be able to do a pull-up. That's something that I would love to see. But like at the same time, what I really want to see is them being healthy and whole. Like
Yeah.
that's what matters to me. With my programs, I put like journal prompts and a lot of things in there to support their mental clarity and spiritual clarity, whatever that may look like for them. It doesn't have to look any certain different way. It doesn't have to look my way. It's just there for them. You did my challenge, so
Yeah.
you saw,
Yeah. No, it was awesome. It was really enriched. I love it. It was great because it did hit on all of those aspects.
but I'm just doing more. Like,
Yeah.
like because I just want to go, I want to create such a valuable impact with what I have learned. Like literally, people may not know this about me, and this is very hard for me to speak about, but I used to be a heroin addict, and I was a heroin addict and alcoholic. Like I was a heroin addict first. Actually, that's not true. I was like this weird meth head. I don't understand it, but whatever. Like, because I hated it. Who does drugs and they don't like the drug? Like, why are you doing drugs? That's the dumbest thing ever. But whatever. And cocaine. And then like uppers. I would never smoke weed because I never wanted to sleep. I never wanted to miss anything, but I was super young, like a ridiculously young age. Okay. Then I
Yeah.
then I became a heroin addict, and that was so hard. And everybody really thought that I was gonna die. Everybody did.
Yeah.
Then I went to rehab, almost got extradited from California to Texas because I was drug addicts get in trouble with the law. I don't know if you guys know. I don't know if you know. I
Yeah.
that it's what happens. And then I thought that I was being healthy and getting better. Later, I stopped doing hard drugs for most of the time and started drinking heavily and
Yeah.
working in bars and shifted to a different lifestyle from my former lifestyle that was really rambunctious and unhealthy to a different lifestyle that was very rambunctious and unhealthy rock and roll lifestyle, right? Which you were
Yeah.
a part of.
Yes, I was.
Um, right there with me. Oh, yes, we have some stories for you guys. Uh, don't you worry. But then after that, like coming to health, changing my life from all of that to where I am now, I am so grateful that like I am alive. I'm so grateful that I didn't die. We are dealing with some pretty heavy losses of different various people from different friend groups that are kind of from the same friend group.
Right.
And seeing uh, unhealthy lifestyle have such a horrible effect on such a large amount of people really inspires me, because to help as many people I possibly can get healthy, impact, and because they can multiply that and impact it among their community. Like, just for example, my friends in Dallas where you live, like,
Mm-hmm.
some of them see my influence and they go to the gym and try to influence their friends or our friends and their friends in the same group, right?
Right.
To get healthy, because they see that if that I did it, and they saw me walking into the bar wasted on rumplements,
Yeah.
like unable to do anything, like blah, 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 blah. Like, how did I get away with anything? Like, I don't even, it's because I knew everybody. Like,
Yeah.
that's it. Like, I was such a huge pain in the butt, but they love me so much. So, like, I'm lovable, fortunately. But at the end of the day, like, oh my gosh, like, what a train wreck. And so I feel like my friends see me and they're like, oh, look, that train wreck is not a train wreck. And she is a bodybuilder. And I do feel like I reversed my biological age.
Yeah, for sure.
But even in the past year, from what it was, from stress, from being in back to back stressful situations in my past, right?
Yeah.
And like today, even I was like looking in the mirror and I was like, I was at the gym and I was like, I look different. Like, my face looks different. I look younger, like more kiddish. I was like, I'm down for that. Whatever. I'll take it. I'll take it. Because usually I'm like, ugh, I look old when I look in the mirror. You know what I mean? Like, never
Yeah.
say, hey. And I wasn't wearing makeup or anything. And I hadn't tanned or anything. Like, nothing. I want everybody to be healthy, and just small changes too. Like, you don't have to do the whole farm overnight. You don't have to, it's not all or nothing. Like, literally, you could just change your breakfast from fucking tequila to eggs,
To water, tea.
or eggs,
Mm-hmm.
protein in the
Yeah.
morning. You can you can get some protein pancakes. Um like, change your diet from a smoke and a pancake. Maybe take a smoke
To
and
a bong and a blunt. No, I'm just kidding.
maybe take a bong and a blintz. But maybe pass up. Maybe pass up. But like, you could put in, instead of putting like super sweet mascarpone in the blintz, you could put like cottage cheese. I know that sounds boring, but you could put maybe some mango
Yeah.
and then a crepe and then some cottage cheese. That would be good. That sounds bomb. I want a mango with cottage cheese with a crepe. Anyways, that sounds
Somebody's
delicious.
hungry.
That sounds delicious. Okay. But what I'm saying is, maybe pass up the cocaine for breakfast.
Correct.
Maybe
Yeah.
don't have a smoke and a line of cocaine. Maybe don't have a shot of. We used to have this guy that came in, and maybe if he ever listens to this podcast, which he might, he used to come in to the bar every single day and be like, "I'm gonna need my coffee. You might know who it is. Just think about it hard enough." And the coffee was Jägermeister. Like, when the bar opened, on the dot, 11 o'clock. Sometimes before.
Listen, that is what I was like before I got pregnant with my oldest.
It might be the exact same bar.
No, I believe it. I'm pretty sure I know who it is, but yeah, no, yeah, I worked there and yeah, I woke up and craved Jägermeister and Dos Equis, like, and that wasn't a red flag that like there was clearly an issue going on.
Yes, we had a problem.
Yeah.
I lived within walking distance
Yeah, you did.
of the bar.
Yeah.
I worked at the bar on one end, and then I hung out the bar at the other end. There was two bars at the other end.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it was quite the train wreck. Quite the train wreck. It was an adventure, you know?
It was an adventure.
It was an
You know, lots of life lessons were learned.
yeah, a an amazing amount of life lessons. All of the life lessons. Like
All of them.
my number one is like don't stay out past 9 p.m. Nothing good happens after 9 p.m.
Okay, so I just have to say, we were getting ready to do this, right? And so I was putting on some makeup and I was like, this is ridiculous. It is 7 o'clock at night and I'm putting on makeup. And then I was like, and I laughed at myself in the mirror because I was like, I remember when I wouldn't start to put on makeup until it was like 9:30, 10, and we weren't going out until 11 o'clock at night. Like, and that was the norm. If we left before 11, I was like, oh my God, we're gonna get there early. What?
Yeah, and while we're getting ready, we're like straightening our hair with the poof.
Doing the poof.
Remember the poof? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So Tori, uh,
Listen, it was the early 2000s, okay?
so
Jersey Shore was the whole thing. And so
it
the
was a
poop,
big deal.
okay?
The poof was a big deal, but only it was also a big deal because me and another friend of ours could get it down pat with our bandanas. Like it was easy for us. Like we didn't have a problem. It was something that we did on a daily basis with her.
Yep.
Right. And so Tori had spent a good amount of time on this poofage, and
A ridiculous amount of time. Okay, let's be real.
we might have had a whole party hotel to ourselves. Um, did we not?
No, this was at the house before we went. We were doing it
No,
at,
we were at the hotel in the hallway.
oh no, yeah, no, that happened at the hotel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was
Yeah.
meant. But like,
Okay.
yeah, no. So, but she spent so much time on this poof, but she also got it perfect
Yes.
for the first time, and she felt confident. And finally, she's like, "Ah, "Look, I did it." And I'm like, "Good job, dude." And she's
Let's go.
like, "Let's get out of here." Well, it was more like, "Good job, dude." I was probably already wasted. Was I already wasted? I don't think it, I was.
Yes, you were because I picked you up from another place and I was like, what?
Yes, I was at like some house drinking with old people.
Yes.
Playing-
Yes.
Anyways, so yes, so well, I think by that time I was not wasted anymore. Like
No, you had sobered up a little bit. Yeah.
I had eaten quite a bit of,
Yeah.
and so like, and we were getting ready to go out and do the thing.
Yeah.
And we're walking down the hall in this sketch ass hotel that we had. And we essentially had a party hotel rented out. It wasn't rented out
Yeah.
for us, it was rented out for a tattoo convention. But like we had,
The whole thing, basically.
I mean, we had our choice. There was a ridiculous amount of kegs in all the hotel rooms. And
Yeah.
it was just, it was really fun. But it was, so we're walking down the hall and I touched your hair.
No.
What did
No,
I?
no, no. You put me in a headlock and then noogied right on top of the poof that I had spent a ridiculous amount of time trying to perfect. And so I reacted accordingly. And
And
I leg swept you.
I was so surprised. Okay. This is a person, this is a human person that worked at a bank. Okay. Like we thought Tori was like our mom. Okay. Like she was the responsible adult in the situation, and we were not responsible. And we prided, we were proudly
Yeah.
irresponsible children. But then at certain moments I would have to snap into responsibility and be a mom too, because we were the only like moms at the time around. I
Yeah.
had kids, nobody else had kids.
Right. Exactly.
So when she leg swept me, it was like, what? Like I was so surprised that you even knew how to leg sweep sweep a human, or you were even aggressive.
And since then, you've met my sister, who can tell you otherwise.
Yes, and like, and your sister is also, she is also quite the, like, she's sturdy. She's a sturdy human.
Yeah, well, she's a firefighter, so that just tells you like what you need to know. She's strong, and she's always been strong. So yeah, and I was the little sister, so whenever we fought, and we did quite often. I mean, like since we're adults now, like we go to like family reunions, and like our parents' generation, all of the aunts and uncles, they're like, we thought you guys were gonna kill each other. And I'm like, oh, that's how we played. And they're like, no, literally, like we had never seen kids fight like you guys fought. And that's just literally what we did the entire time we grew up. So yeah, whenever you messed with the poof, I was done, and I swept your like, and yeah, the look on your face was pretty priceless, and you were like, I have so much respect for you now. And I was like, are you effing kidding me? You fucked with my hair. Do you know how long this took? And you went for the hair? Like, you want to put me in a headlock all you want, but do not noogie the poof.
We had a whole hotel room full of rooms, and we had to sleep. We shared a bed, three
Yeah.
people deep, and Tori ended up on the floor. And I was like, I felt so bad whenever I woke up. I was like, and then I was like, why the fuck aren't we sleeping in beds? Whatever. And we had another friend there, and he was like, okay, so me and this particular human would always fight, like fight.
Yeah.
It wasn't, it wasn't like we were mad. It was weird.
No, it was like you guys were exchanging blows to see who could take it best.
We would beat each other up. I love that guy. I think about that. I haven't thought about him in a long time. But he used to call me Black Betty because I had black
Yes.
hair with short bangs.
Yep.
And yeah, and the last time I saw him, he looked like soccer coach or something.
Well, we all have turned into some shape or form of that, you know?
Yeah.
Oh
That's
my gosh.
like we grow up, right? We grow up.
Yeah,
That,
we grow up. But you know, how lucky and how awesome of a blessing is it that we get to grow up, because we were crazy, and not all of our friends got to grow up.
right.
So,
Or even be old, like
right.
unfortunately because of that like lifestyle, and that's why it's so important to me to make an impact of health, is that like because of that lifestyle, I had to see a lot of people pass away because of alcohol. Working in
Yeah.
bars, like working in a bar for 18 years, that's a long time to work in a bar. Um,
Mhm.
and you see a lot of things that you don't really want to see, and you see a lot of people pass away. And people that you like, and it's always from some alcohol related thing, or they had a heart attack, or they had like liver cirrhosis, or they had like this thing or that thing, or they're like just insides liquefied from being at the bar every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, alcohol is, in my opinion, the worst drug out of all drugs. And um I've seen people detoxing from every single drug, and every single time alcohol was the worst. Alcohol is, I'm pretty sure, the only detox that can kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just, and then whenever you drink, like, so say you work out and you drink, right? Um, Anytime you drink and you're working out, you're like ruining your gains because, or like, say you're trying to lose weight and you're drinking. So even if you go to the bar and you drink like a vodka water, that vodka, that vodka is going to burn off as ethanol, and you're not burning any fat, you're not burning any carbs, you're not burning anything because
Yeah.
your body is trying to get rid of that alcohol. So it completely ruins your gains. So if you think that drinking like lower calorie alcohol is somehow going to still make you lose weight, you're wrong.
Yeah.
You might as well just leave it off. But it also eats the thiamine out of your brain, can give you freaking dementia. It's just awful for your body, and it's awful, like it's an awful habit to get into. I was saying that the other day, like there's a bar that I could walk into. There's a few bars that I could walk into, and I haven't been in Dallas bars for 10 years. And there's a few bars that I can walk into and I will know who is sitting where because they're
Yeah.
sitting in it. Or, and if their seat is empty, it's probably because they died.
Yep.
Hopefully, it's because they moved away and changed their life. But usually that's not the case, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So we took kind of a dark turn, but I think I think it's important to note.
It's yeah, well, it's real. It's the reality. And unfortunately, it's like it gets sugar coated and it gets painted as something else so often that I think it really does need to be spoken about in truth, like you did, because that's important. Because until that happens, people are gonna just continue to excuse it away. And here's the thing. I'm not saying that people are excusing like drunkards, but like it's not the drunkards that are dying from it. It's the people who just partake on a regular basis and they think that it's fine. But in reality, it's slowly poisoning and destroying their body and their brain.
Just fun, right? They're just
Yeah.
on the weekend, they're just blowing off some steam, whatever. And I'm not judging anybody. I used to be right there too. Like,
Yeah.
whenever I'm talking about it, I say our lifestyle. Our lifestyle led to this. I never say my lifestyle, their lifestyle, blah, blah, blah. I say ours because it used to be my lifestyle also. And
Hmm.
my influence is also a part of what shaped their lifestyle. And me being around and existing within their lifestyle, like that awareness changed their timeline,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
And affected it. And so, because of that, I'm not going to sit here and separate myself because I decided to change my life. And because I can do more pull ups than a man, I'm going to shine on for just a second. More pull ups than a man. I just did 225 pounds on a deadlift for 3 reps with no straps, no belt. I can push and pull a sled that weighs 250 pounds, no problem. But that doesn't make me better. It makes me it like I just broke the cycle, right? I broke my bad cycle and created a new better one. And
Hmm.
I would like to serve as a beacon. Like the light that you see over there, remember I said that
Yeah.
about TC? Like I want to be the light that they see over here. If that's all I can be, because if I could do it, so could they. Just like if TC could have a good stable life, so could I,
Yeah.
right? If I
Hmm.
could stabilize my life and start to thrive and create good values and create good standards and learn how to make an impact on others and multiply what I have gotten, then so can anyone. I'm not
Yeah.
special. I just chose different, a different course. And so can anyone,
Right.
and I want to see that happen for everyone. I want to, like, I get frustrated. I know you know this, that I get frustrated because I see people that have potential wasting it because they're great people, people with hearts of gold, people that could go so far, right? And I
Hmm.
used to think that I had a ceiling. You don't have a ceiling. Your ceiling is your skills. The ceiling is your lessons. Your ceiling is what you learn. As long as you stay learning, guess what? There's no ceiling.
Exactly.
Simple. Well, I think we could wrap this up. You want to wrap?
Okay.
I think we, I
Yeah, we can wrap it up.
think we did a good job, and I think that we covered a lot of great stuff.
Yep.
Uh, yeah,
Yeah.
awesome.
Two thumbs up.
Two thumbs up. Who has two thumbs and loves our awesome podcast? It's everybody.
Everybody.
It's everybody. And if you only have one thumb or no thumbs, like just stick your toes up.
And we are not giving that away for free, people.
I was gonna put my foot up, but then I was like,
Yeah,
I,
don't
I don't know about it.
do
You
it.
don't need anybody screenshotting my toes. Uh, for sure. I do not want to see my toes on the internet at all. And my toes are
No.
easy to identify. They're, they're very distinct toes with very distinct tattoos on my feet. Like if
Very
people
true.
ever seen my feet, they'll be like, well, those are Jennifer's feet.
Exactly.
So no, thank you. I'm not having anybody Photoshop my feet. My feet are nice and they have beautiful tattoos on them. And ain't nobody getting it for free.
You, you almost showed them.
I know. I almost was like, check it out. It was
No.
so close. Almost, you almost got that foot shot. Don't you wish? Why do we always get dirty talk at the end? Like,
I don't know.
I don't. I like it. I think it's great.
It is good.
Yeah.
Because we got to leave it on a light and airy note.
Right. I can't be like, never drink. You guys are horrible for drinking alcohol.
Feet pics.
Just kidding. Nobody's horrible for anything. Like life is hard, man, and it's confusing as hell. And it's like and then you have this story that's implanted upon you by your parents and by all the people around you when you're little that you believe that you have to unravel later.
Ugh, yeah.
Whole head trip. So like why would we not medicate? Why would we not try to escape a little bit, right? But escapism causes a problem and it causes dysfunction in your life, or it causes your life to stall forever. And then whenever you face whatever you were trying to escape, then you change that backwards timeline and you heal that thing and then it's fine,
Yep.
literally fine. But like people avoid that facing it so hard that it causes such a rift inside of them. Like if you knew what you're like, how badly what you're running away from was destroying you, like just turn around and run towards it. What's gonna happen? Like like what do you have to lose? Nothing. Like,
Right.
hello.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Just
Like
do
Steve
it.
Jobs said, you are already naked. Stay hungry, stay foolish. It doesn't matter. Do what you love every day. Don't, and nobody loves drinking every day. Like you can tell yourself that you do, but that's a lie. You lying to yourself, homie. Like that's just bullshit that you're telling yourself so that you can stay drinking every day. You know you don't like waking up feeling like shit.
Which is why you go drink more because you
Right.
think it's going to make it better. But it's just a vicious cycle.
Right. Going
Yep.
back to it. Well, those bad cycles, you can either get in a good cycle of growth or a bad cycle of growth, right? Some
Exactly.
trees can only grow this big, and then other time trees grow like huge and strong. Do you want to
Exactly.
be a mighty oak or do you want to be a little bitch ass sapling?
Listen, listen. I am a freaking mighty oak.
That's
And
right.
I wanted a mighty oak a long time ago whenever I told a specific person what I needed from them. And I said, I need you to be a mighty oak tree. And they thought that that was the most ridiculous thing that somebody could say. And I said, you go fucking look at some pictures of some
Because
mighty
that
oak
person
trees and
never
you
got
see
an
what they can do. And that's what I need. A mighty oak tree. Oh, well, that sounds terrible. Oh my God. Okay, that's not what I meant, but
Needs a mighty oak tree.
taking applications for mighty oak trees.
She needs a mighty oak tree. I just want to say that that person can never be a mighty oak. The person that you said that to,
Yeah, I know.
they are definitely a sapling.
But they, to be fair, they told me that at that time. They said, I can't be this. And I was like, yes, you can.
I'll change you.
I'll change you.
I'll change you. I'll make you into a mighty oak with by my oakiness example.
Right.
All 21 years of it.
Oh my God.
You live,
Oh,
you
wow.
learn. Here we are, and both of us are like free,
Yeah.
happy,
Yeah.
beautiful kids.
Amazing kids.
Like what's to like blessed abundantly so.
Faux show.
Oh show.
Faux show.
Well, that being said, we are abundantly blessed. So are you.
Peace out.
Have a great evening.
Bye.
Bye.